Hi everyone, this is Michael Johnson, your instructor for HORT 58, Irrigation Systems Design and Management. And today we're going to be using the Creating Landscape Irrigation Schedules workbook to take the information from a monthly irrigation scheduling table that we've previously created and use that in the programming chart that will be used in the field to enter a program into a controller. So by now this first page here should look familiar to you. This is the irrigation scheduling tables worksheet, and I'm going to click on the programming chart tab at the bottom of the worksheet. And you'll see this watering schedule chart. Now, this is a very important document here because this is what you can use in the field to program a schedule that you've already created into an irrigation controller. So there's some important information up top here, including the job name, the address, controller ID if you have any for that, and then the controller model. And you'll see that you're taking information from the base irrigation schedule for the peak ET month and entering it into this scheduling chart here. And then the recommendation is to use the %adjust feature on the irrigation controller to adjust the schedule at the beginning of each month. So you'll see at the top of this chart there are 3 programs, A, B, and C. This is very common for most residential and light commercial irrigation controllers. Then you have watering days for each program, Monday through Sunday. Then we have start times, and there are 4 start times here. Again, that's a common feature on most residential and light commercial landscape controllers. And then you will have to enter in the start times that are desired. Then below that, you'll enter in the type of irrigation system that's applying water. So in this case, for program A, I've already filled in. It's a rotary stream nozzle. We'll be using an example that we worked on earlier in the semester with some MP rotator nozzles. So those are rotary stream nozzles. Then the other 2 I've also filled in for you will be drip stations on programs B and C. Then you see that we have listed here stations 1 through 16. 16 stations is probably the maximum amount that you would encounter with a residential or light commercial type irrigation controller. Then you see the location and plant materials. So it's usually helpful in this section to list the plant material and a brief description of the location, so that you know generally where the valve and the sprinklers or drip system will be operating. In this case, you see I filled in here warm season turf grass in the front yard for station 1, then warm season turf grass in the backyard for station 2, and warm season turf grass for patio in station 3. Then you'll enter in run times. Now, these run times are again for the peak ET month. You've already calculated that when you were creating the schedule, and you see I've already taken the information from the monthly irrigation schedule and placed it on this programming chart worksheet so that it's on the same page. And I recommend doing that so that it's easy for you to see the information on the monthly irrigation scheduling table and enter in the appropriate data on the watering schedule chart. One other thing that you can do with Excel is zoom in or zoom out. So if you want to see more of the screen, you can zoom out. You see here my screen's at 70% now. I can zoom in to 90 or 100% or more if I want it to be larger. For what we're doing, I'm going to keep it at about 80%. I can see most of what I want to see on the screen with 80. Maybe actually I'm going to go 70 there. 70% works a little bit better so that you can kind of see everything that I want to see on the screen at once. Okay, so there's the monthly irrigation scheduling table. I'm going to delete that real quick and show you how to bring that over here. You'll go back to the Irrigation Scheduling Tables tab at the bottom. Click on that. And assuming that you've already entered in the correct information and created that schedule, you're going to grab that monthly irrigation scheduling table, copy, then click on Programming Chart tab again. Then I recommend right-clicking, going to Paste Special, and then clicking on the picture icon. There's a couple of different ways you can do that, but that's a pretty easy way to do it. And I'm just going to move that here. So basically, I've just copied a picture of that monthly irrigation scheduling table and pasted it onto this worksheet. So now I can see the information that I want to see. And what I'm most interested in here is the runtime per cycle for the peak ET month, which in this case is July. And the runtime per cycle is 33 minutes. So I'll enter in 33 minutes for these 3 stations. All 3 of these stations would be considered Hydrozone 1 and would be placed in Program A because they all have similar characteristics, including the same plant type, the same irrigation system type with the same application rate, and the same soil type. So they can all go together in Program A and they'll all have the same run times. So each of these have run times of 33 minutes. You'll want to pay attention to the total runtime per start time at the bottom of the chart. That's basically the total runtime for each cycle, each start time. So one cycle or one start time for Program A would last 99 minutes in total because we have 3 stations that run for 33 minutes each. That's important to note when you're programming your start times. Early morning start times are very good for sprinklers because typically it's darker, less windy, and not many people are roaming around in the yard at 5 a.m. for instance. So I entered the first start time 1 for Program A to be 5 a.m. So I need to again pay attention to that total runtime per start time because runtime 2 should not start before cycle 1 ends. So runtime 2, start time 2 needs to start 99 minutes or more after start time 1. So in this case, that would be approximately 6:39 a.m. So I chose to have runtime 2 start at 6:45 a.m. That allows plenty of time for a soak period between the cycles, and it avoids overlap between the start times and the end times of the 2 cycles. Then you'll note at the bottom that the total runtime for irrigation day is 198 minutes. That's because there are 2 start times, 2 cycles of 99 minutes. I also chose my 2 water days, Monday and Friday in this case. And one simple way to choose those with this worksheet is to click on the desired day on the cell. In this case, I'm clicking on the M for Monday, and then go up here to the fill color button. You can click on that, and then I just happen to like bright yellow. It stands out, especially if you print this in color. And then Friday is the next day that I chose. That gives us 3 days, 3 interval days between waterings, which is adequate for this situation based on the soil type and the plant type. So now we have program A with water days of Monday and Friday, 2 start times, 5 a.m. and 6:45 a.m. Run time of 33 minutes each for stations 1 through 3. The other thing that would be important for you to include on this programming chart tab are the CMIS and percent adjust data. So if you'll recall, you can find that on the plant water needs worksheet. So you click on the plant water needs tab at the bottom. In our scenario here, we're in Watsonville. So I'm going to scroll down to find that Watsonville data. And again, it's just a copy and paste of the picture. And that's really important because when you print this, you'll want that percent adjust information to be able to accurately adjust the runtime throughout the year. And you will also notice that there's a note here to turn off the controller, hopefully beginning in November and at least through March when the rainfall totals have exceeded the reference evapotranspiration rates. So you'll just continue to go through this exercise with programs B and C. You'll notice here I've already included the monthly irrigation scheduling table for Hydrozone 2, Program B, which was our trees, shrubs, vines, ground covers, irrigated with a drip irrigation system. So then you would start including the run times for each of those stations as well in Program B. So for instance, you see here that the runtime per cycle for the peak ET month is 28 minutes. So I'll enter in 28 for station 4. And looks like stations 5, 6, and 7 also are moderate water use trees, shrubs, and ground covers irrigated again with a drip irrigation system. They all have the same application rate, so you could indeed use the same run times for those as well. So lastly, what you do once you've completed this chart for the 8 stations in this scenario, you can make it a little larger, and maybe that's a little too large. And then you'll want to copy and paste the information into the Word document assignment that you'll find in Canvas. In the real world, you would want to print this watering scheduling chart along with the percent adjust data, and then I would print 2 copies, put 1 copy in or near the controller for easy access in the field, and then have another copy with your maintenance log for each account that or client that you have, again, for an easy reference. So I hope this short video is helpful. If you have questions, you can email me. You can ask each other in the discussion forum. And I really appreciate all of you sticking it out and your patience and support over the last couple of weeks and the next few weeks through these challenging times. I've already told you folks multiple times how proud I am of you, and I think you each will rise to the occasion, and we're going to make this a great class, and there's still lots of opportunities for significant learning experiences. So I look forward to continued success, and good night.